Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Spencer.
I agree.
Ooh, and this is the Board Game Rundown. And today we're going to review Agree to Disagree from Adam's Apple Games. They sent us this review copy. I mean, we did ask for a review copy. They were looking for reviewers, and we said, hey, pick us. Because Planet Unknown is very popular in our group. Mm-hmm. And that's their other game that I can name off the top of my head.
Yeah.
So in Agree to Disagree, what we're trying to do is you've got these topic cards. You're gonna pick. You've got basically 6 topics you can choose from. There's an inspiration card to like help you, like figure out like, oh, how do I come up with this? Because it's very ambiguous.
Yeah.
Which lends to the replayability of this. But for example, in this case, I'm going to choose Western movie. And I am going to say that Tombstone is a better Western than The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, which is a classic movie.
Controversial statement, Tim.
Right. Very controversial. So on the other side of this little doohickey here, scientific term.
It is.
You've got a heart with an X, which is disagree, and a heart with a heart. And that is agree. And what you're going to do is you're going to put that side out. Yes. So the side facing out is what you think, whether you agree or disagree. So you need to do your very honest opinion. And then the person to my left, since I picked that, is Mike. Mike is going to pick somebody he thinks disagrees with him.
Correct.
So if Mike agrees with my statement, he wants to find the person who disagrees with my statement. And vice versa.
Yeah.
Mike, who are you picking?
I'm picking Spencer.
All right. So now they're going to put their things in together. If they touch, that means they disagreed.
Oh, they agree.
They agree. So no points are scored. If they had disagreed, they would each get 2 points, and me as the moderator would get 1 point. So now Spencer was the passive player, Spencer and Bob. Now, since there's just 2 left, a unique thing happens. They are going to take one of these tokens that says players agree or players disagree, and they're going to secretly choose whether they think they agree or disagree. And then they will put their little doohickeys together and see what happens.
Ready? Ooh, we agree.
Oh, they're saying they agree. So this means that they should not go flush. Oh, they agreed. So they would each get points for that. So what did you guys say?
We agree.
Agreed.
Tombstone is the best. Tombstone's really good, guys.
What
Not
we've
that
learned
it's
is
not that controversial.
that was a terrible topic.
But if it had been this way and I disagreed.
Yeah, if Spencer had disagreed.
It would go. It would go
in that
flush
case,
like
who gets the points?
that. Well, you guys would each get 2 points. Oh no, you would get 2 points for picking the person
Somebody
that
that you
disagrees with
disagreed
you,
with you.
and then I would get a point for being the moderator.
Yep.
Because I'm really good at moderating.
Yep. And then the inactive player then becomes the active player, who they would then choose somebody who has yet to be chosen, or if it's down to one last person.
That
choose
sounded
somebody.
so professorial. Choose someone who has yet to be chosen.
That's right.
Anyway,
It's also dodgeball rules.
Yeah. And that's really how the game plays. You go through several rounds. You take score, most points, and you win. There is a tiebreaker that if there's a tie at the end, you go around until the tie is broken.
Until the tie is broken.
So it's pretty straightforward, which actually happened when we were playing at Gen Con.
It did. That's
Yeah.
right.
And interestingly, it could have ended up that someone who wasn't in the tie won because he's involved in the
Right.
game
If they're
still.
not too far behind,
They
they
can
could.
still catch up and win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So pretty interesting and very unique. I've not played a party game that does this. And this is pretty interesting. So the game ends once everybody has had one turn at being a mod. And if there's a tie, then we just keep going until there's not a tie. Right?
Yep.
All right. Let's get into our thoughts on Agree to Disagree. Bobby,
That's me.
what do you think?
I agree.
Oh, okay.
I disagree.
We win.
I'm impartial.
You're out. You put it in sideways.
So I thought this name was super neat. Like I actually went over, ended up buying my own copy of it because I feel like this is a really great way for ice breaking, right? So you have conventions, or you go to meetups, and there's all these new people, and it's just a way to kind of get people's opinions on things like, oh, anime, I think that One Piece is way better than this. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And like, or you go the opposite way. You're just trying to find somebody who agrees with you. Like, oh, we agree. You guys are idiots, right? I mean, so I just find that it's a nice way to get to know people. It's a good icebreaker for a bigger groups. You're trying to get people together and meet new people and find out about them, what interests them. And I thought that was a really neat way. I haven't seen it implemented in a game this way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Spencer.
One of the things I found odd was when you're connecting them, and it's when you disagree,
Yeah, they go flush.
they go flush, but when you
Correct.
agree, they don't, and that's kind of to me counterintuitive.
Correct.
And that got me
Threw you
so
off.
many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely
Right.
confusing.
Because you want to agree to disagree.
yeah, and that's the other
That's the
thing
goal of the
that's
game.
It's the
confusing
name of the
is
game.
wanting to find the person who disagrees with me, but
Mhm.
not even then. I'm trying to find the person who disagrees with what I think
Mhm.
of his statement, and it's just,
Right.
do I think that he thinks the same thing that he thinks?
Yeah.
And
Well, I know I'm right. I know Spencer's always wrong. So we should agree or to disagree.
Yeah. Agree to disagree. Yeah, and again, right, like no table talk. So you
Yes.
just have to just go off of your gut opinion and what you
Mhm.
think. And depending on the topic, like when we were playing, I believe like Seinfeld came up and I said it's the best sitcom. And so like everybody kind of knew my opinion on it, right?
Right.
But then learning what everybody else thought
Mm-hmm.
was pretty fun with that.
And you can really do this with, like almost no table space because you just kind of can
Oh, yeah.
hold your piece and then just walk up and like
Yep.
try other people and see if you agree or not.
yep,
Yeah.
you just have to be careful also with the cards. You're the people you're playing with a little bit, because I mean, if I chose anime and I said Cowboy Bebop's the best anime ever, and you guys have never even heard of Cowboy Bebop, you guys don't
you're
really have an
obviously
opinion
Well,
on it.
but if they like a different anime, they would
Well,
be
that's
like
true.
wrong.
Wrong,
But I mean, if I
obviously.
know absolutely nothing about one of these things, international
Strategy
food
board
groups,
games,
yeah,
something that Spencer does.
strategy board games, never played those, then I wouldn't have an opinion, and it would be very hard to figure it out.
Mhm.
Yeah, but there's 6 topics.
But there
to
are
choose
6
from.
topics. That's
And-
a
Yeah,
nice
to choose
thing.
from.
And I mean, it doesn't matter which one you choose from.
Nope.
But it seems that this one is a little bit more adult and complicated, and this one's a little simpler and easier to do. That's what it
Okay.
seems like to me.
What's Cowboy Bebop?
Oh boy,
Oh,
it's
The best anime ever.
actually, I really like.
Hold on.
I'm gonna make everybody mad at me. I like the live action show on Netflix. I've never watched
Yeah.
the anime.
Oh,
Ooh.
I thought it was
I
some
heard
new
about
form of
that.
pop country I didn't know.
No,
Oh,
I'd be
wow.
out immediately.
Yeah.
Good. Put me out of my misery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, one thing I've thought about when it comes to this game is like, what other means of comparing could you make to where it's secret only to the two people that are doing comparing and nobody else knows what it is? Because at first you're like, well, couldn't you just use a card to show? No, because then you have to pass the card, then you got to look at it, and then you got to swap the cards back. This is actually really smart because it inside of here, it's got this little thing that just blocks it, and that's what makes it prevent it from connecting all the way. So the only thing that happens a little bit sometime that's a little goofy is that you can be trying to connect these and like they're not perfectly, and then you finally get it and you're like, oh, did it stop? Nope. They got to be like perfect to slide together, which I don't know, small nitpick. But yeah, I don't know other ways that you could actually do this game without these components because it's the thing that Adam's Apple really hangs their hat on is using components as part of the game. That's like the whole lazy Susan with Planet Unknown, which is genius. And the more I think about these, the smarter these components become to me because I can't think of another way to do it.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, well, there's got to be an easier way to do this. I can't think of one. So
Clearly
I'm
there's not.
proving my point is that these components make a lot of sense.
Yeah, there's I think that as far as party games go, there's probably ones that I like better, but this is very unique in what it does.
Yep.
So there's always something to be said for that. Yeah, there is a little bit of fiddliness sometimes with like, oh, is it hung up? Is it not? But again, this is really ingenious because the way that it works is really impressive. Some people could struggle with trying to come up with a topic like, oh, I don't know, like feels like a scam. Goat. I mean, goat would be a good one for arguing, right? Like greatest.
Jordan or LeBron.
Right. That's easy.
There you go.
Is it now?
Good Lord. We even friends.
Ask somebody that question under 30.
Yeah, get that flopping crybaby out of here.
I can't believe you talk about Jordan that way.
But yeah, so I mean, there could be people that might have a harder time trying to come up with
Yeah.
stuff. So because this game does give you that agency, like unlike other party games where it's like pick a number off of this card and that's your word or whatever. But I don't have a problem with that because it is fun to try to come up with an interesting category or an interesting thing to debate. And honestly, for me, like my way to do it is even the potentially more controversial, the better. Because while you can't talk while we're all like, testing and figuring out who we're going to pick, soon as it's done, it's like, I can't believe you think that this is, this and the way that you can go back and forth with that. Like, so sort of the debrief and I always like the debrief in games like this anyways, where it's like, well, this is what I was thinking and this is why I did this. And it's like, and then when you did that, I thought I was, like I really enjoy that. And so this kind of lends itself to that. But that can also make the playtime on this go a little bit longer because everybody's going to get a little chit chatty in between rounds, which is fine. Anybody else have anything they want to add?
I think being the mod is the most fun part when you're coming up with the question, but also when you're trying to figure out if you're like the last
two people,
and you're trying to figure out who's that person that's going to agree or disagree with you. That part's pretty fun too. In the middle gets a little samey to me, but I do like the modding part and being the last person where you can try to predict it.
The last one is really interesting for sure.
You might be asking yourself, why 2 different colors?
Oh, that was just a production thing.
Yeah,
but
they're the same.
We got them early. Yeah, it's so don't ask. Let's get into our rating. Mike, how do we do the ratings here at the Board Game Rundown?
Everybody gives it a score from 1 to 10. Average them together. Add them together. Divide them by 4. That gives you an average, and that's our rundown score. That goes on BGG and Discord.
I believe you could say average them together. It is still like qualifying, like
probably so
mathematically
is
accurate.
That median or mean?
Add a little doubt as to how we do this because we explain it.
There is a lot of mystery,
every video,
and pizzazz that goes into every rating.
Bob, maybe there. I disagree that there was a better way to explain that.
I'm not sure I need to answer that. That was a very obtuse question.
Let's agree to disagree.
Yeah, let's
just do
definitely
that.
agree to disagree. All right, Bobby, what do you give this guy?
Ooh, that's me. I'm stuck between 2.
Wow, that low. Jeez, Bob. I thought you enjoyed it some.
You bought it.
I bought it. I always buy a game I rated 2. No, I'm gonna say a 7.5. I'm glad I have it that it's in my repertoire. And it's gonna be great for some ice breaking. Is my favorite party game? No, but I do think it's fun and it's a good way to get to know people. And I think that anybody who does like board game events and things like that, or get to know yous and whatnot, like this is a good game for you to have at your disposal to be like, hey, let's just get to know each other better, and just get 8 people together and learn things about each other. So with all that said, what did I say? 7.5.
Spencer.
I'm gonna be the party pooper here. I did think it was just a little bit too counterintuitive for me. I was confused through quite a bit of it, thinking, did I just agree with this person or did I lose a point? So for me, I think there are other games I would rather play, and so this one is a 6.5.
All right, Mike.
Yeah, it's good. It's not great. It's unique, but there's games that are better. I'd play it more, but I don't need it in my collection, so I'm falling at a 7.
I feel kind of right where Mike is, so kind of in between Spencer and Bob.
I disagree.
Oh, shoot. Well, I mean, just...
Actually, you agree.
There we go. We're going to do this. See, this is what we're talking about with like the fiddliness.
Yeah, it's better if you set them on the table.
Yeah.
And then they lock a little better.
But yeah, I'm a 7. I think this game is fine. We have it. It was definitely not a bad experience. And I think that games like this, even more so than other party games, are very group dependent. So yes. I think I could play this game with the right group and it would be an 8. And I could play this game with like a group that's like a real just dud or it just falls flat. And then it's like a 5 or a 6 because you're like, oh, get me out of here. Yeah. So a 7 I feel like is a very fair score for me.
Okay. So if we take off our scores and we do average them together, it's a 7.
7. Solid.
Nice.
Pretty solid.
Still very solid, even with Spencer being a party pooper.
Yep.
That's
blanket.
okay.
He's just used to everybody agreeing with him. So when somebody disagrees, it just does not compute.
Does not compute.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, thank you to Adam's Apple. They sent us this for review. But again, we owe it to you guys and to them to give our honest opinions and our experiences with this.
Yep.
So if you found this video helpful, please consider liking, subscribing, ringing the bell. And if you would like to support the channel in other ways, we do have a Patreon, which you are more than welcome to go over there and participate in. We're going to start having giveaways that are linked to that. Specifically, more details to come. What?
Wow.
Hi.
It really pays to be a Patreon of the Board Game Rundown, doesn't it?
It does.
Agree. I'm gonna get that the right way.
Wait, have we done anything for him yet? I disagree.
Oh,
We
see,
agree.
look, we
We
agreed.
agree.
But all right, guys, and even if you can't do that, just your comments here, let us know. Give us your agree to disagree. Give us a topic, like something best, whatever, and then we will
Yeah.
get on there and agree or disagree with you.
I like that.
Do you agree with our score?
Oh, yeah.
TV network. The Game Talk network is the best network.
Ooh, agree.
Yeah. Sorry, you're not getting any points. We're all going to agree on that one.
We're all going to agree. Well, no, I'm going to go last. I'm
Right,
gonna
so I
pick
can-
Oh, no.
that I agree with you.
Oh, yeah, try it
Yeah.
out. A little sleight of hand.
All right, guys, for the Board Game Rundown, I've been Tim.
Bob.
Spencer.
I disagree.
We'll see you next time.